Hi everyone, it's Britt here, your friendly transgender girl from Sydney, Australia. I needed to make this update, I needed to make this post today because normally a lot of my content is all really positive and good, and I do document things that sometimes are not so good. And today is one of those days, unfortunately, and something pretty bad happened to me. And something that I'm going to try and be brave and share with you, because I think it's really important to put this out there, that the unfortunate fact is this happens, and it happens to more people than it should. One person is more than it should. So if you're triggered by anything to do with sexual assaults or any sort of inappropriate behaviours, I probably wouldn't watch this. It's not going to be a graphic video, I'm not going to go into great detail. But for me, my personal experience, something that happened to me over the weekend was I was sexually assaulted. And also not uncommon is that it was by somebody that I knew. It was a family member, somebody who is much older than me, somebody who I've trusted and respected my whole life, and somebody who acted as an ally when I first came out. So as you can imagine, I was quite surprised and I guess caught off guard when this happened. So just briefly, the circumstances were we just went interstate for what should have been a lovely little getaway, and just through circumstances our flights were severely delayed and we got to our destination quite late in the evening. The people that we're going to meet, they had been, so family members and some friends of theirs, they had been having a good time all afternoon and evening, having dinner and a few alcoholic beverages. Now, that is no excuse. Being inebriated, being under the influence of anything is no excuse for inappropriate behaviour. So we walked in the door, as I said, quite late, and these two particular family members approached me and at first were quite complimentary about my appearance, keeping in mind they haven't seen me since I have transitioned. They remember me as the person I was before. I'm sure they've seen a photo or two online, but they haven't actually seen me in person and they haven't seen me at this point in my transition. So at first it was very complimentary. Wow, you look fantastic, you look great. And I noted straight away that they were quite intoxicated. But that's okay. I mean, I had a few drinks as well. We were at the airport bar because of the delays and so on. So it wasn't like I was out of my control or anything. I was well and truly within my control, but I sensed that they were close to out of theirs. So we continued talking and it was okay. And this person actually said to me, I don't want to offend you, so if I say something that offends you, please tell me. I said, thank you, I appreciate that, and I will. Almost like I took on the role of the senior adult in this circumstance. Then the conversation turned really quickly and this person began to dead name me, not once, not twice, 3 times. And I said each time, I don't like that. You asked me to tell you when you're offending me and you're now offending me. And they were saying things like, oh, come on, you know who you really are. And I'm like, I know who I really am, and that's Brittany. So then they said one of the most horrible things to me, that hearing my news was worse than when they found out they got cancer. So that really rocked me. And that's when I started to think, right, so the dead naming, the comment about worse than cancer, like, maybe you're not the ally I thought you were. And then that's when the inappropriate touching started. So it started with trying to lift up my clothing to see what was between my legs, totally inappropriate. And then on 2 separate occasions, touch my breast. And I said on each time, please stop doing that, that's totally inappropriate. I mean, any little bit of a alcohol buzz I might have had on quickly went away. I sobered up very quickly at that point. And I'd realised, well, actually no, I didn't realise, but I had a realisation that this is not good. This is not normal behaviour. So after the second time that they touched my breast and I pushed their hand away, I said, no, sorry, I'm out, I'm done. So I left myself, I removed myself from that conversation, that situation, and I went to another room where my wife and my cousin's wife were, and I just said, hey, this is really not going well for me. I am really uncomfortable here. Something's just happened that I don't want to be around these people. Referring to fond family members as these people because of the way they just treated me. So what did I do? I just tried to play it down like nothing happened. And in the moment, I'll be honest with you, that I didn't understand what had happened. I was like in shock. I was like, did that really happen? Did that happen? And so my cousin's wife asked her husband to tell his parents to leave, which they did. That's another story, but not for here. The next morning, the feedback was that they had absolutely zero recollection of what had happened, and I don't know if they even remember meeting me. So I didn't want to ruin the weekend, and this whole thing. I never ever thought I'd have to deal with this in my lifetime. I never thought this would happen to me. I'm conscious of this in public with strangers, but never did I think this would happen in a safe place, in an environment that I was with my family. So it wasn't until a few days later that I had an incident at work. We returned home, I went to work, and I had a really horrible incident at work where I got called out for being trans on at work by a whole group of school children, and it was a really horrible experience again. And it brought back all the emotions of what happened on the weekend, and it kind of hit me and went, wow, I think I might have been sexually assaulted. So I spoke to my wife about it because I hadn't spoken about it, and she's like, yeah, that's absolutely disgusting. I can't believe that happened. And she felt guilty because she didn't see it. She was off, it was a party. People were just off mingling and talking, and this happened while she wasn't there. Not her fault. I spoke to a female colleague at work, and she's like, yeah, there's no ifs or buts. That's what happened. And then I saw my doctor last night as my regular 6-weekly checkup for my hormones, which, by the way, not the right video to be promoting. And I told her what had happened because I'm struggling to deal with this, and the emotions, the guilt, the shame, all the things that I felt pre-transition about my gender identity kind of came back. And then this is the ridiculous thing as a woman, and this is what women do, unfortunately, is they start to second guess themselves, to blame themselves. Was it what I was wearing? Was it my fault in some way? Did I do something? But then the answer to is no, I didn't do anything wrong. So why am I putting this out there? One, because it helps me get it out of my head and it's therapy. Two, it happened. And also for you, if you're in these circumstances and situations, I'm not trying to make anybody paranoid, but these things happen. And if you've been following my journey, you've been following my videos, you know that I'm a fairly happy, positive kind of person, right? And I just didn't think this would happen to me. So I'm not putting this out here for sympathy. I don't want comments of you poor thing and that kind of stuff. It happened, and I'm dealing with it, and I'm going through the process. I'll be speaking to my therapist about it too, and I've got the support of my wife. I've got support of colleagues at work. I did talk to my sister about it, so I've got a support network. So if you're worried about me, don't be. I'm okay. I'm not okay because that happened, and that's part of me that's now broken forever. That's just the reality of it. I'll move on. It won't hamper my transition. It won't make me think any other way. But it's just really disappointing that it happened from a family member. And like I said, there's a part of me now that will never be the same. So yeah, if you've been through something similar, I empathise with you. For those who haven't experienced this, I just hope it never does. But just be vigilant. That's my message. Just be vigilant. Sometimes you think it's a safe place, and sometimes you think that it's okay. But what I've learned is I need to be on my guard at all times, especially when there's alcohol and things involved, because that's the usual. Oh, I didn't know what I was doing. I was really drunk. I've never ever been that drunk that I've lost control of those kind of things. And I think what alcohol does, it just allows the true person to show themselves. And in this instance, this person really showed me who they really are. So Okay, sorry it wasn't so upbeat and happy, but this is, I think, really important to share and have a conversation about. So thanks for listening.